If you're a card maker like me, you probably love all of those beautiful 6x6 pattern paper packs. But because the majority of the cards that we make are 4¼ inches by 5½ inches, we're left with a few scraps that look something like this. Because these papers are so beautiful, we don't have the heart to just throw them away. But what can you do with all of these beautiful scraps of pattern paper? Today on Stamp TV, I'm going to show you a beautiful background technique that uses mix and match pattern paper, and depending on the colors and patterns you choose, these backgrounds are perfect for masculine cards, baby cards, and everything in between. Let me show you the tools and products you're going to need to do this technique. First, you're going to need a variety of pattern paper scraps. And what I've done here is I've taken some of the pattern paper scraps from the new Springtime Silhouettes Stamp TV kit, and I've cut them down to 1/2-inch strips. Now, it really doesn't matter if some are longer or shorter than the other. Mine aren't. They all happen to be about the same length, but even if they are, as long as they extend outside of your piece of cardstock, that's okay, because then we're going to trim this piece of cardstock down. Now, my cardstock I have here is just a piece that's measured 4 inches by 5¼ inches. And the reason why I measured it 4 inches is because then I can lay these 1/2-inch strips perfectly across. Then, if I want to trim down the piece of cardstock, I can after I've got all of my pattern paper strips placed on this piece, and I can get an even cut, and I'll show you that in a minute. Then you're going to need some sort of adhesive, and I'm using the Tombow adhesive. This is the dot adhesive, and I like this for this technique because this adhesive is permanent, but if you align something a little bit crooked, it does give you a couple seconds to pull it up and straighten it out. So your first step is going to be to choose the order that you want your pattern papers to go in. And what I like to do is I like to mix it up. So if I have a couple pieces that are floral and then I have a couple pieces that are dots or stripes, I like to alternate. So I'll put a stripe and then I'll put this petite floral. Then I have a bigger floral, so I'll put that one in there. And then I'll go with this purple petite floral, and then I'll repeat that pattern again. So I have it all laid out exactly the way I want it to go onto my piece of cardstock. Then I'm going to start by turning my card on the side and taking the first strip and applying some adhesive down the strip. And then I want to line this first piece up right to the edge of my piece of cardstock. So make sure that it's not extending over the edge and that it's perfectly straight. That's your most important piece to lay down straight. And you can check the back and make sure nothing's sticking out, and that looks just perfect. So that gives me my guideline for the rest of the strips. Now my next strip is going to be this green one. So I'm going to apply some tape onto that, and for that one I'm going to butt it right up against the last one and place it down. Same with this side, make sure it's not overlapping, but it's right up against it. And that's my second strip. My next strip will be the yellow one, and I'm going to do the same thing again. Again, right up against it, and press it down. And you can see I'm not too worried about my ends lining up because I'm going to trim all of that off when I'm done. And then my last color is this dark purple pattern. I'm going to apply that one on right here. And then I'm going to repeat that process over again until I fill up the entire piece of cardstock.